Lou Ann Fulmer here with Andrew McNair, President and CEO of Swan Capital. They have offices in Pensacola and Daphne, Alabama, here to help you about retirement planning. I always love being with Andrew every single weekend. So it is easy to make assumptions about what goes into a legacy plan, right? But Andrew, you're going to help make it clear as we dive into the basics of creating a lasting legacy for our family. So talk about some of the basic questions we need to be asking ourselves on this topic.
Well, I mean, what's special here about Swan Capital is we have an estate planning attorney in office. So Scott Malik has worked with me for 9 years now, and we have other attorneys that we refer out to. But here are a few questions that you probably should be thinking about as we get into this topic today. What kind of legacy do you want to leave your loved ones? Do you want to spoil them rotten, or do you want to make sure that they're still successful citizens moving forward when you pass away? And that's what good estate planning does, where we can help a family pay it out over a 5-year period, a 10-year period, till they're age 40. Next is making sure that you have the proper documents in place so your wishes are carried out. Again, I know it may be in your head. Maybe you've even voiced that to your children and who you think will be your executor, but if it's not in a legal document, the courts don't think, well, he said they're not going to use that. You have to have these documents in black and white. And so you need a medical and financial power of attorney. You need a living will and a last will. And an estate planning attorney like Scott Malik would tell you what documents like those basics you need and any additional documents you would also need for your situation.
Okay, so fill us in on how you talk to your clients about legacy planning as part of their overall retirement plan. Your Swan Sleep Study that you take each and every retiree through or couple through touches on not only legacy planning, but the whole, the holistic plan, income, investment strategies, healthcare strategies,
Absolutely.
taxes. So talk about
Yeah,
that part.
it all has to be integrated because I've met with families that had $35,000 to their name that had a $5,000 trust that they did not need. I've met with families that had millions of dollars but then didn't have any legal documents. And what that tells me is their financial professional and their attorney that they had hired was not working together. And so that's why we bring Scott into the conference table, because he's only a few steps away, and we say, all right, Scott, sit down. Let me tell you about their situation. They own 3 rental properties. They have their houses paid for, but the rental properties are not paid for. This is what they want to happen if they're no longer here. This is their second marriage. This is how we want to protect that spouse that remains, whoever that widow is that survives the other. And when we have this collaborative approach with the family, with the estate planning attorney, with the CPA that we have in office and us, it really is this collaborative approach to make sure that the client's values are preserved, that the family is preserved, that there's not less bickering from the family, and also that they have someone to turn to. Like, sadly, there was an estate planning attorney in town, I won't mention what town, that passed away, sadly, after doing years of legal documents, but they were never able to see them through. I always joke, my goal is to outlive my clients so that I can help them with these legal documents. That's the Scott and I joke all the time. Our job is try to stay healthy and take care of these retirement plans and these
Aw.
estate plans that we've built for clients and see them to the end. And that's the promise we make, that if something happens to you, Mr. and Mrs. Client, you have someone to turn to. And that's why, even if you don't work with us, you need to pick your professionals young. And that's my personal opinion, and not young enough where you have to burp them and teach them how to do their job, but you need to hire them to the families that got tongue tied.
It's okay.
You need to hire professionals that can help your family when you need them the most.
Yeah. So, and hiring someone can help you avoid costly missteps. Where the money that's inherited, then the children are having to pay so much in taxes, things like that. So getting some guidance is certainly what you need to do with your estate plan.
Absolutely. Here's one tip I will tell you. Many people say, I want to leave money to my grandkids. I hear this all the time. I want to leave money to my grandkids. And I say, well, let's do it right now. And they say, what do you mean? I say, well, let's get it out of the way. If you want to leave money to your kids mostly, but you do want to make sure that your kids don't spend it so your grandkids see nothing, why don't you set up a Roth IRA for your grandkids? why don't you set up a 529 plan for your grandkids so that that money actually can be converted from a 529 plan up to $30,000 into a Roth IRA. And if you put money in a Roth IRA for a grandchild, they can use it for a first time home purchase. They can
Mm.
use it for college expenses. But if they become a plumber and make more than the liberal arts degree that they were thinking about, then that's okay too. That Roth IRA can grow within the Roth IRA for retirement. And what it does is instead of giving your grandchildren a cash gift that gets them addicted like sugar water to ants, what it does get them addicted to is thinking about retirement. And that's where my nieces and nephews, the light bulb is starting to turn on for my nieces and nephews because I've been putting money every Christmas into their Roth
Mm.
IRAs. And they're starting to think, so, like, Andrew, can I put money into my Roth IRA? And I said, the light bulb is turned on. Absolutely, you can put money in your Roth IRA. I've already created it for you. Would you like me to start taking monthly out of your checking account because you're already working a summer job? You're
Oh,
already into your career.
love that. So they're of that age now. They're working, and then
Yeah.
I love that.
My older brothers had kids very quickly, so
Yeah, yeah.
my nieces and nephews are now like 22
No
and
way.
18, so they're getting into their careers, which is really
It's
exciting.
very exciting, and I love how they're watching you, they're learning from you, and you're guiding them. That is so cool, Uncle
Well,
Andrew.
it's
Love
better
it.
than waiting for your rich uncle to die. And sadly, I'm not leaving them anything. It's all going to charity. I've already
Yeah.
told them that. So
Okay.
I don't want them to say that their rich uncle didn't care about them, that their rich uncle didn't want to teach them. And so here's what I'm doing: I'm buying them financial books every Christmas. I'm
Mm.
buying them a gift that they want for Christmas. And we're also putting money into the Roth IRA for them as well.
I love that. You're teaching them. And you know what, Andrew? I love your passion for helping people. And it started at a very young age for you. At age, what, about 14? Didn't you read Rich Man,
Yeah.
Poor Man? And that's kind of what started it all.
That's right. I always say the two things that change your life are the books that you read and the people that you meet.
Mm.
And my life was changed by a book. And I hope that my niece and nephews' lives are changed by one book. I keep on giving them the books; they don't have to read it. I do try to bribe them. I put $100 check in it, and I mean, literally, they'll make minimum wage if they just read the book. And some will, and some won't. But they can't say that I never tried. And so, hopefully, you take some of these ideas and you help your own grandchildren. You help your own nieces and nephews by priming the pump, by giving them the books, by giving them the Roth IRA so that they can start thinking about retirement too.
Okay, and that's what our show's all about, retirement. What would your money say about you and where you're headed into retirement, or if you're already there in retirement? Do you need some guidance? That's why Andrew's on the air every single weekend, because he truly wants to help you. He's offering an hour of his time complimentary. All you have to do is call or text the word SWAN to 800-848-8768. 800-848-8768. Either give them a call and say, hey, I want to get on Andrew's calendar, or just text the word SWAN. Same thing, get on the calendar as well. And also head to swan-capital.com, because you can find out even more information. There's a lot of resources at your fingertips. It's a great website. And thank you for joining us, because this is what your money would say. We want you to be thinking about it and making sure that you're making the right decisions.